So hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. Today we are going to be doing a review for the Tapped Out Simpsons wrestling event. So this is the brand new event. Of course I did a spoiler video talking about it, but the content got leaked last night, and finally today, about half an hour ago as I'm recording this video, the update dropped. And also the App Store did update last night, but of course we didn't get the update until 3 o'clock GMT. So yeah, this is a really odd event in my opinion, and I was hoping that they would have brought it back in some regards by adding particular characters that could have maybe grounded the event more within the Simpsons universe. And I say that as a lot of the characters we've got in this update are very, very minor. And it reflects the Superheroes 2 in a lot of ways, because a lot of the Superhero 2 characters were pretty much just characters from one segment of The Simpsons. And the case with these characters is pretty much all of them are from the TV within The Simpsons house, apart from Captain Flag, who appears very briefly, and I think one of the others maybe. One of the characters, the character of, what's it called? Iron Yuppie, I think. Was it Iron Yuppie? I'm not sure if it was Iron Yuppie or... No, it was, sorry, Beefy Bishop, that was the one. Beefy Bishop actually only appeared on a pamphlet. So, he didn't even appear in his physical form. He only appeared on a pamphlet. So there's a lot of characters that are very, very minor. And the reason why I brought that up straight away is because this is the major issue I have with the event, I think. In terms of the event as a whole, I think the theme is fine. The structure is, same as always, pretty much. But the theme's quite good. I mean, it's a fair theme. If there was plenty of content, it would have made a lot of sense. But the issue is, if they stuck with the theme so much, that now we've got a bunch of characters who are no-names, pretty much, and blink and you miss it. And that is a major issue I have with this event. So, anyway, I just wanted to get that off the bat before I get into it, because that is going to be the major point that I'm going to be harking back on. So let's look at the event and break it down. So we'll start off with the event structure. So obviously it's a multi-event. It appears that it's a week and a little bit, I think. Just double checking, but it appears to be. But I found this a lot easier to get prizes. I'm not sure about you, but it seemed a lot easier than the Black History Month. So it goes on till the 17th, so it's a week and a couple of days basically. Is each act lasts. Now normally in the past anyway, most acts last only a week in the multi events, but these ones last a tiny bit longer, and it is I think it might be a tiny bit harder to get prizes, but I think it balances out with the 2 extra days you get, or the 3 extra days you get. So I think it should be alright in terms of getting prizes. You'd have to tell me, because I skip it with donuts, so honestly I don't know. But yeah, I know a lot of people complained last time about Black History Month. Apparently it was very hard to get the prizes, or it became very hard to get the prizes. So yeah, if it is hard to get the prizes, do tell me. But I know the token, for example, was 100 donuts. 100 of the prizes, the 100 of the event currency, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Let's go through the Act 1 stuff. So of course, in Act 1 we got the Wrestling Pavilion, we got the Token, Tofu Bell, Wrestling Dressing Room, and Captain Flag. Of course, there will be 3 more acts after this one, and obviously there will be every week and a bit you'll get a new one. Again, it's simple multi-act structure, multi-event structure, but like I said in the past, it's pretty much just a mini-event times 4, but hey-ho, I can't complain about it too much, because it's not exactly like this update is different to other updates. Every update in the last kind of year we've got has been like this, so not much to complain about, but there you go, I thought I'd mention it. Characters, so yeah, obviously I've briefly talked about this in terms of characters. So these are the characters that we're going to be getting in the event. There is also a skin for Abe, which is an Honest Abe skin. But these are the characters that we'll be getting. So we've got Captain Flag, Dr. Bonebreak, Iron Yuppie, Professor Werner von Braun, Rumpelina, Beefy Bishop, and Rasputin the Friendly Russian. So you get Professor Werner von Braun and Captain Flag in the very first act, and then I think Act 2 is Dr. Bonebreak with Rumpelina, Act 3 is the Iron Yuppie with Beefy Bishop, and then Act 4 is the Iron Yuppie with Rasputin the Friendly Russian, Act 4. So, yeah, a fair amount of characters, but it has to be said, of course, that they are very minor. And I'm trying not to hark on that too much because I wanted to get out of the way at the start. But, I mean, in terms of the two characters we got, Professor Flag, Professor Von Vaughn, I found something, and I talked about it in my premium gameplay that will be out eventually, but they have very similar animations, and I appreciate that they have actually given the characters a 5-part quest, and they've given them 2 animations, because it would have been very easy for them not to. It's not like these characters do anything in the episode that requires an animation, so what they've done is they've added this little NPC guy, this little NPC wrestler, and he appears in both Captain Flag and Werner von Braun's tasks, in both their animations. Actually, not one of Captain Flag's animations, but he has Captain Flag has like a fight animation. I forget exactly how it's worded, but basically it's just to do a body slam. And Werner von Braun has 2 of them, and they're very similar in the fact that they use this NPC that kind of appears. Now, I am hoping that in the future, the other characters we get don't have a very similar thing where they use this NPC, because if so, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed, because it kind of feels a bit lazy to me. It would have been kind of cooler to see these characters fight each other more than it would have been cool to see them fight the NPCs, because I honestly would have liked that if you could have made Captain Flag fight Werner von Braun, because I believe they fought each other in the episode, or it's said that they were fighting each other. I think they're both from Gorgeous Grandpa, if I just double check. Yeah, oh no, actually no, they're not. Okay, fair enough, maybe it doesn't make sense for them to fight, but Dr. Bonebreak and Rumpelina, I expect them to have a task to fight, and I'm hoping they do, so we'll have to see. But yeah, I find that really peculiar with the tasks and the animations. They're very similar, those animations. But anyway, let's move on to the building showcase. Okay, buildings / decorations. So I think the one thing we can definitely say is decent anyway in this update is the buildings. From the looks of it, the buildings look quite promising. So these are the buildings and one decoration that we've got so far. So we've got the wrestling pavilion, which I actually quite like. I think it's a fairly nice building. Tofu Bell is really cool. I think that's hilarious and it's pretty awesome. And we've got the University of Heidelberg, I think that's how you say it. This is a tapped out original building. This doesn't appear in the Simpsons show. It's been mentioned before, but it's never appeared. So this is a tapped out original building. It doesn't appear in the show. I don't know how you feel about that. I believe it's a real life building, and I think it's a real life building. As in the actual university does exist. Yeah, it does exist. But yeah, it's obviously been designed from the real life building, and they've made it from the real life building basically, and they've Simpsonized it essentially. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I'm okay with it overall. It was mentioned, so I guess you could say it's a canon building. So I don't know. I'm fine with it, to be honest. But yeah, it is a tapped out original. Just please note. And then finally we've got the wrestling dress room, I think it's something. So it's called something like that. This decoration here, it's the wrestler's dressing room. Yeah, that's it. I hate these buildings. Usually, you guys know I hate these kind of interior buildings that we get. They're just so impossible to place, and they just look really out of place as well. So I'm not a fan of this, but that's the decoration. In terms of the 3 buildings that we've got so far, I am pretty happy. And in terms of the buildings that we're going to be getting ahead, they look pretty decent in my opinion. We've got the Golden Ring Wrestling Headquarters, looks okay. The Coot Society looks pretty cool. We've got the Episcopal Church, and we've got the St. Basil's Cathedral, which is Basil's Cathedral, which is going to be really, really cool to get. The only one that doesn't look great is the Beefy Bishop's Barbershop, which is going to be a Guilds deal that we're going to be getting later on. That is the only thing that looks really terrible in my opinion, but I'll talk about that when we unlock it. But yeah. But anyway, let's go to the unlock screen, and we'll kind of wrap up my thoughts. So yeah, I think overall I don't like this update that much. I think it was better than I expected in the sense that I expected it to be quite lazy in terms of the animations, in terms of the tasks, in terms of these kind of things. And I thought the buildings were going to be really, really lacking. And I'm pleasantly surprised. The buildings are overall okay. I would have liked more buildings, of course, but I don't know. I think it's a generous amount. There are good buildings overall. There's what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good ones, 1 bad one, I'd probably say. So yeah, the buildings are definitely a positive for this event. So I think that has to be noted because this was a thing last year with the Simpsons Babies event. The Simpsons Baby event annoyed me a lot in terms of characters, but in terms of buildings, it was very solid. And I think this event definitely stands out in terms of buildings. In terms of characters, though, it has to be noted that they are kind of crap. I think they look cool, and that's always a plus. I'm glad that they're not just generic kind of characters that have a speaking role in the episode. For example, like the Itchy and Scratchy executives, was it Jeremy and Diane? Like, they are so generic in terms of, like, I just didn't care for them at all. Whereas I think some of these wrestlers do look pretty awesome. But it has to be noted they're not major characters. We've also going to be getting, of course, the skin for Abe, so that's kind of cool that they're keeping costumes alive. I was getting worried for costumes. There's no NPCs, which is kind of annoying. We're also going to be getting a town hall trashed by partying decoration. Building skin, sorry, not decoration, which looks kind of cool. They're keeping building skins alive as well. It's really weird that we've got loads of building skins in the last couple of events. They seem to be really harking on building skins. I don't know why. So yeah, like I said before, I think there was a good opportunity for them to add other characters, and the questline so far looks okay. Doesn't look great. And I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to obviously recreate, these kind of wrestling scenarios with these wrestling characters. But I think it would have been very awesome if they did a kind of A and B plot to the quest line. So the A plot would have been the wrestlers, and the B plot would have been the kind of reporters and the kind of kiosks and things like this. Like, for example, you could add the New York guy, the thing that Homer eats in Homer versus New York, the little crab things, the dude who runs that, the vendor who runs that, could have added him and kind of made it so he was serving, people in the crowd. You could have added Bill and Marty and made it so they were commenting on the wrestling. You could have added Titania, saying that she was serving alcohol during the wrestling. There's all these kind of characters that you could pluck from The Simpsons and place them in this event to make them kind of work. And I think my biggest issue with this event is it sticks with the theme too much. And often I like to praise events that really stick to a solid theme, but this event has gone so far in that direction where it's really harking on the theme and it's wanting to stick to the theme so much that it's sacrificed adding any decent characters. So all we've got is these minor characters, and I think that is this update's biggest issue, is theme. And this is crazy because I normally think that that's a major plus for updates. But yeah, I think it's a flaw in this one because they've stuck to it so much that to the point where it kind of ruins the update. And I really wanted more from in terms of characters that we know. So yeah, I think that is my overall thoughts. My biggest issue is the characters. I think the buildings is definitely a plus. The decorations look okay overall as well. So we'll have to wait. Obviously, I'll be doing my premium gameplay as always, and an Act 1 and 2 review, and an Act 3 and 4 review where we'll go through it. And then finally, I'll close off the update with a content list once the final act has dropped and I've done my Act 3 and 4 review. I'll do a content list, and obviously we'll go through all the content and kind of talk about it individually. But that is it in terms of my video, so definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below. I think overall, I'm not thrilled with this update, but I don't think it's the worst piece of shit we've ever gotten tapped out. I think there's some redeemable things about it. So yeah, Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.